Have you lately felt a gentle loosening of the threads that tied you to daily life? Do quiet moments bring a sense of homecoming rather than loneliness? Have your dreams or inner seeing been unusually bright or strangely empty, as if the soul were already traveling? Beloved friends, sit with these questions a little while. Let them settle in the stillness within you like seeds on good soil. When the moment comes to speak of leaving this body, we do not speak from fright or from the cold facts of the hospitals, but from the warm, living truth of the soul. Death is not an enemy. It is the closing of a door through which the self has always moved. To consider the signs that the body is preparing to be left is not morbid. It is a spiritual study, a map for the heart so that the last steps may be taken with as much grace and devotion as the first steps on the path. I will describe 7 signs that often appear when a soul is preparing to leave its physical home. Hear these as a teacher speaks to sincere disciples, not as rigid rules but as ways to recognize the soul's readiness. The presence of 1 or 2 of these things does not mean that departure is imminent. Many souls show signs and yet remain many years. Still, for those who are attentive to the inner life, these signs can be like gentle bell chimes, reminders to let go, to turn inward, to breathe with God. If you enjoy this video, give me a like and comment below about your thought. Enjoy! First sign, the heart lets go of attachment. The disciple will notice that ties which once bound their whole life begin to loosen. There is no harsh turning away, only a natural lightening. The beloved objects, the heirloom, the everyday comforts, they lose their hold. This loosening is not stubbornness or callousness. It is an inner freedom. The person begins to see life as a great river and the self as the passenger who knows the shore will be left behind. Where attachment once demanded constant attention, there is now a quiet release. The hand opens, the clinging softens. You will hear them speak less of possessions and more of memories that are bright rather than heavy. Their mind begins to place a greater value on presence than on possession. Second sign, an unusual, calm acceptance of death. Fear, which many people carry like a hidden stone, melts away for those whose souls prepare to go. It is not always a grand mystical vision. Sometimes it is simply that the person smiles more easily when spoken to of death, or answers questions about what comes next with a simple, "I am ready," or "all is well." This calm is born of knowing, not an intellectual certainty but a felt conviction, that the soul is eternal. If you see that someone no longer resists the idea of leaving, but rather contemplates it with a kind of reverent curiosity, that is a sign the inner journey is well advanced. Teach the heart to breathe into this acceptance rather than to fear it. Third sign, the body grows weaker, yet the spirit shines. Often the body will show ordinary signs of slowing down. Appetite wanes, sleep deepens in strange ways, energy is spent with less ease. But alongside this physical waning, there may be an inner clarity, as if a dim lamp has been turned up. The eyes may reflect an inner light. The voice may become softer and more melodious, as if tuned to a subtler frequency. Do not be alarmed when speech diminishes. Rather, listen for the quality of its silence. In those silences there may be a profound communication. The body's weakening is a natural shedding of the garments the soul no longer needs for its next step. Fourth sign, vivid inner experiences. Dreams, visions, and visitations. The person may report dreams that are unusually vivid or meaningful. They may dream of rivers, of entering houses that feel like home, of meeting loved ones who have already died, or of being bathed in light. Sometimes there are clear, waking visions, a sense of beloved presences near the bedside, or the scent of flowers that do not exist in the room. These experiences are invitations from the soul's deeper realms. They are not to be treated as fearsome portents, but as gentle signals. The inner world is opening to the outer in preparation for the soul's return. Encourage such visions. Do not dismiss them. Instead, guide the mind to interpret them as comforts and confirmations of continuity. Fifth sign, the sense that life's work feels complete. Many who are close to leaving feel a deep sense of completion, not in prideful satisfaction, but in humble peace. The unfinished anxieties that once troubled them, the if only and what about, begin to fall away. They may say, "I have learned what I needed," or "all that I had to give has been given." This feeling of closure is not necessarily literal. It does not mean every deed is done. Rather, it means the soul feels that its essential lesson has been lived. When you see a person look back on their life with soft eyes and without the desperate need to rectify every small wrong, it is often because the soul is preparing to travel light. Sixth sign, heightened inner hearing and synchronicities. The person may find that inner promptings, that small, wise voice, come more frequently and are followed by evident help. Chance meetings, helpful coincidences, letters arriving at the right moment. These synchronicities occur more often. The person senses guidance and follows it with trust. This is not mere superstition. It is the soul aligning with a higher order. As we progress in spiritual life, the veil thins and the world begins to conspire with the soul's longing. When the outer life starts to arrange itself in ways that seem too kind to be random, that is often a sign the inner journey is being honored by the invisible world. Seventh sign, a deep longing for the divine home. Above all signs, more important than lights, visions, or bodily symptoms, is the inward call. A yearning so strong that the finite world cannot satisfy it. This longing is not sorrowful. It is as if the soul remembers a distant house and smells the garden. And for this reason, the one who is leaving feels a soft joy mixed with a sweet pity for those who have not yet tasted that same hunger. They speak less of the small comforts of this life and more of the small, devoted things that attach the heart to God. A line of scripture, the hum of a mantra, a remembered hour of deep prayer. When such longing grows, it is the soul's compass pointing homeward. Now, beloveds, let us speak plainly of how to prepare the heart, whether you are walking this path yourself or sitting beside one who is nearing the door. Preparation is not frantic. It is a gentle, steady practice. Here are a few humble practices to steady the mind and bless the leaving. First, keep the thought on the divine. Let not the last whisper be worldly worry. Teach the dying to breathe God's name as naturally as breathing air. If they can repeat a short prayer, a simple name, or a line of scripture, encourage that. If they cannot speak, sing to them softly. The soul responds to vibration. Second, cultivate love in action. Small acts, smoothing a handkerchief, holding a cool cloth to the brow, the warmth of a hand upon a brow are holy. The presence of calm, loving friends is a balm. Speak of things that bring peace. Memories that are simple and sweet, prayers that are short and luminous. Avoid loud doctrinal arguments. Instead, share stories that remind the heart of mercy and embrace. Third, ask the mind to let go of fear. Fear creates tension in the subtle body and can obscure the vision of the inner light. Where fear arises, breathe slowly and gently into it. Teach the breath to be a soft friend. In for 4 counts, hold for a brief count, out for 6, or simply breathe naturally and call to mind the one who holds all. Fear emptied of attention loses its power. Fourth, abide in the heart. The heart is the doorway between worlds. Teach the person to gather their scattered thoughts and place them in the heart center. If possible, close the eyes and imagine a flame, a light, a warm color in the center of the chest. The soul loves to rest in the heart. Fifth, surrender with trust. Surrender is not defeat. It is a loving offering. Encourage the departing one to say, "Thy will, not mine," and to feel the truth of it. When we surrender lovingly, the soul's passage becomes like a child who is guided across a stream by a wise hand. A few words to those who fear the last hours. Remember that so many saints have described the same ease. A bright light, a sense of being welcomed, voices of friends, the presence of divine love. Even when such experiences do not come in dramatic form, the soul is always cared for. Practical care for the body remains essential. Let doctors do their work, give medicines with kindness, but keep the spiritual atmosphere serene. If arguments or regrets arise, do not inflame them. Speak gently and lead the conversation back to peace. Sometimes loved ones will cling and worry that letting go is a betrayal. It is not. To allow the soul to leave in peace is the deepest form of love. We must not be possessive of one another's presence. Love is not ownership. Release is the finest expression of devotion. If a friend cannot let go, pray for them. Pray that their heart may be soothed and that compassion may replace clinging. There are also moments when the signs we have named appear and yet the soul remains. Do not be discouraged. The timing of God's plan is distinct from our reading of signs. These indications are like weather. They often herald a change, but they do not command the calendar. We live in the world of process. Our attention is best spent on what we can do now. Love, pray, bless, and prepare. Beloved disciples, remember, the body is a borrowed garment. It has served its purpose when the soul has learned its lessons and completed its work. To die peacefully is the great art of living. To live with the awareness of death is the art of living fully. When you walk the path daily, by kind actions, honest thought, and steady practice, then the final crossing will be like stepping through a familiar doorway. Close your eyes now and imagine a room filled with light. Hear a simple chant, a tone that does not startle but holds you. If you are beside one who is leaving, lay your hand gently on theirs, and let your presence be a prayer. If you are walking your own last road, breathe slow and sweet, and feel the presence of a loving God who waits with open arms. May you be blessed with clarity when the time comes. May your last breath be a song. May the signs I have described be not sources of fear but invitations to live more fully, to love more freely, to practice more earnestly. The universe is a school, and the soul is forever its pilgrim. When the last lesson is learned, there is no sorrow, only the joy of going home. We will close with a short practice. Breathe in and think of one tender name of God. Breathe out and release any tightness in the chest. Do this 3 times. Then chant silently the name you love best, for as long as your breath will carry it, and let each repetition be an offering. Go in peace. Serve love. Be ready to smile when the next doorway opens.